You hear that dog barking? It's not Lotus. German Shepherds have one of the highest surrender rates of any breed in the US. So please take what I'm going to say in this video very seriously. The German Shepherd breed, it's not for everyone. It's okay if you watch this video and you realize, you know what, that's not the breed for me. I would much rather you get a dog that is going to fit your lifestyle than get a dog that you're either A, going to feel trapped with, B, feel like you should surrender, which that's never an option in my opinion, or C, the dog's going to be unhappy. If you've seen our videos before, normally they're all, not all, but mostly happy, showing you the positives, going to the park, all the benefits and everything. Much like most of what you see on the internet, that's not the whole story. That's just slivers here and there. Well, I wouldn't say slivers, they're pretty big pieces, but nonetheless, it's not the whole picture. Not everything is great. And I've made some videos in the past kind of poking humor at this. For example, like this video, 12 Reasons Not to Get a German Shepherd, which to this day gets me more hate comments than all my other videos combined. However, this video is actually meant to be more serious. It's not to say we won't have fun doing it, won't go over some fun topics, but it's a very serious topic. If you're thinking about getting a German Shepherd, watch this video, know the negatives, know what you're getting yourself into before going any further. Before I ramble any more than I'd already planned to, let's roll the intro. Now, you will notice that it's just me here today, no pups. Pups are out of the house today, so it is quiet. In fact, it is so quiet. As you can see, it's pretty much cat day here around the house. My name is Will. Normally I would have the pups here. Enzo and Lotus are not here. They're out having a blast on their own. It's just me here enjoying the quiet. That's okay because we're gonna go over a really serious topic today. Under no circumstance do I think it's okay to ever surrender your dog. Don't leave your comments about how XYZ is an acceptable excuse. I don't care. Move on. The thing is, like, I love German Shepherds. And if you're gonna get one, I want you to love them too, because if they're not gonna fit your lifestyle, it's gonna be a bad relationship. And as I mentioned, you can't just get rid of them. You can't return them. This isn't a car. I've returned a couple of those. I will not return a dog. Let's talk about some of the worst things I could come up with, some of the things that I think will do the best to deter you from wanting a German Shepherd. And then if you listen to these and you think, hey, I can deal with those, then awesome, great. Maybe a German Shepherd is for you. But if you think, you know what, maybe that's not what I want to get into right now in my life, that's okay too. There are plenty of other dogs that you could get, or you could look into fostering, or just go fish or something. Just heard the mailman. It's weird. That sound should be accompanied by Lotus barking. All right, number one, separation anxiety, or as we like to call it around here, FOMO, the fear of missing out. Now, not every shepherd has this. In fact, Lotus actually isn't too terrible on this. Enzo, on the other hand, well, yeah, Enzo, be right back. Be back. A little bit. FOMO makes leaving the home hard. It makes coming home hard. It makes leaving them in the car hard. You ever, start to pull out of your driveway and realize, oh, I forgot something. That happened to me the other day. I realized I forgot my wallet. And I thought to myself, do I really need a wallet? I mean, sure, I'm going to the grocery store, but do I have to have a wallet for that? Do they have like a layaway plan? Can I like charge it to an account? Do I really have to go back in there? Those are the type of thoughts that really start to creep through your head. Now I know I'm being kind of silly here, but it can get a little annoying at times. I may make light of some things at times, but I'm gonna be completely honest. There's been times where I get in the car and realize, oh, I forgot something. And I go get it, and I get back in the car and realize I forgot something else. It can be a little annoying, not gonna lie. You've seen all the times where he barks when I get out of the FJ and stuff. Now, in fairness, I can tell him the off command and he will stop. I don't always wanna do that. I don't wanna take his voice away or anything like that. So I do reserve that for when I feel like he's being just a little bit too much. But that's a pretty normal behavior. The biggest issue though comes when it starts to manifest in other behaviors. So Lotus, really from the time he was pretty young, he could have been out of the crate once he was potty trained. That doesn't mean we did it, but he could have been. Enzo, he was pretty much in a crate when we would leave up until he was like 18 months or more because he just could not handle it. It wasn't too bad, but he was just walking around like looking for stuff in the house, and one remote did pay the ultimate price. I hear these horror stories about shepherds like tearing down walls and stuff, like literally like going through drywall. I will say that some of that I believe comes from lack of proper exercise. They're just not getting enough other portions, enough attention in general life. There is still just that aspect of, you know, they don't like to be left alone necessarily. Like I said, some do better than others, but generally speaking, as we always say on this channel, you know, my wife and I, this is not the breed that for the single person who works 8-10 hours a day and is gone all day. This really isn't the breed for that. There are plenty of breeds that are perfectly fine sitting at home all day by themselves, not a care in the world. Shepherds generally are not that breed. Ah, Roomba. What would life be without having a Roomba run 7 times a day and vacuuming miscellaneous parts that Roomba misses and getting the push broom out for other parts and the duster and the lint roller and... Shedding kills 87 Roombas per year. No, but seriously, shedding is real. It is obnoxious. You hear all the jokes, German shedders, all this stuff, but the fact of the matter is, after a while, it gets a little old, not gonna lie. If you've been followers of the channel for a long time, you know that I have my own car that I don't really drive much. They don't ever get in my car, yet somehow when I get in my car, there's dog hair. How is that possible? Well, that's because it's everywhere. It's contagious. It travels. We have 2 Roombas that run all the time. We have vacuums. Like, I'm not being that sarcastic. I'm not really exaggerating much. Yes, the wifey's a little OCD, a lot OCD, but still, like, even if that weren't the case, like, you got to keep up on this stuff or else it's just going to take over your life. One of the things I like to joke about is that they shed in real time. Here's a clip of us brushing Enzo just a couple days ago. I've been brushing for what? You'd say 10 minutes?
I set a timer for 15. It hasn't gone off yet, but I'd say we're getting close.
And we're still getting lots off.
So that was like 5 scoops off of Lotus. Just like this little baby bit. That's 5 off of Enzo.
After we've both brushed him quite a bit.
He's been brushed a ton already, yeah.
You can sit there and brush him till the cows come home. It don't matter. We don't have any cows. I'm sure the wifey would like some. It's just a never-ending thing with them. If you're like an OCD type person or you like to keep your house like really, I mean, our house is pretty clean, but it's not as clean as some people think it is, I believe, when they see it on camera. Like, I think they think it looks flawless, and the fact of the matter is the camera just doesn't pick up all the fur and everything. But I bet on average we spend between the 2 of us at least 20 to 30 minutes a day, like cleaning up fur, basically, because I don't want it everywhere. You know, I don't want it on my clothes all the time. You know, people love to make the joke, like you'll see the memes, like their hoodies all covered in fur, like there's a dog lover. It's like, I love my dogs too, trust me. It doesn't mean I want to walk out shedding myself everywhere I go. Let's talk about cost. If you didn't know, shepherds are prone to some medical issues. Now, this isn't necessarily uncommon with different dog breeds, but with shepherds, it tends to focus around the joints. Being a larger breed and everything, we have to do a lot of preventative maintenance. We have to take vet appointments very serious. We have to take training very serious. There's a lot of stuff we do cost-wise that way, you know, the hitch step and... Riley, what are you wanting? Trying to film the vlog. Jeez. This is Enzo's binder. Lotus. Some of this might be Enzo. Mostly Lotus. I think one of these is Rally. Enzo's in a nice little binder because we switched vets. Lotus has always had the same vet. I figured up the cost last year, and I haven't done my taxes yet this year, but I'm working on them right now, and usually just as an anecdotal thing is I'll usually tally up all the pet stuff. I'll have a video coming up with that soon, but it was a big number. Last year's number was this number right here on the screen. I mean, do I need to say more? Poor Rally here. Poor Rally, she hardly got no cost. Yeah, hardly got no cost. All right, I'll put you down. But seriously, it's like the high school kid that wants to buy the 25-year-old BMW M3. Like, you just know that's gonna be a bad idea. Just because you can afford to get it doesn't mean you can afford to maintain it. If you're gonna do it right. This is a living, breathing, I mean, they will become your best friend. They will become your family. So you need to be able to have the resources to provide for them. Obviously, if you're rescuing, you know, you're doing the best you can. I get that. Be mindful. There's lots of dogs out there that need rescued. There's lots of other dogs that require less medical attention that still need rescued. So don't be afraid to say, you know what? I'm just not at a spot right now financially where I can afford this. You know, that's okay. I'm not there either. You know, we still have ramen Tuesdays because of our pups. Trying to film a vlog. I mean, what do you want? Everything's always gotta be about Princess Cat. Final note about cost that I want to add. If you want to see all the stuff we spend, I have videos on that. Like I said, the video from last year that I can link, all the supplements we give them, everything like that. Some of you might want to comment, like, is insurance an option? In my research, it's not. Insurance is mostly like catastrophic stuff, it seemed like, and it didn't seem like it was worth the value to pay those premiums, to be honest. So you may find it differently. If you research it, it may fit your budget better, but for us, it just financially just didn't make sense. If the unfortunate event happens, I'd rather just pay out of pocket. All right, let's talk some demeanors. I like to call this segment Team Enzo versus Team Lotus. Lots of people like to comment that, you know, they love them both, but they love Enzo, or they love them both, but they love Lotus the most. So if you're not familiar where this whole team thing comes from, it comes from a little known movie series, book series called Twilight. If you did not grow up as a teenage girl, as I did not, you were not aware of such books and movies. So when your sister comes up to you and asks, hey, will you go to the movies with me? And I say, oh, well, what's the movie? And she says, oh, you know, it's about vampires and werewolves and they fight, the two families, like they fight and stuff. Okay, yeah, sure. All right, I can go see that. Not what that movie's about. Let me just tell you. If you're familiar with the videos, Enzo is actually the odd one. Now, I know we give Lotus a lot of grief for his reactiveness and, you know, joke about it and stuff. And we also are very serious about all the things we do to work on it and to make it better and to work on his anxiety and such. The fact of the matter is, behaviors are a spectrum. If you had, I don't know, quote unquote normal on one end and abnormal on the other hand, Lotus is closer to normal than Enzo, that's for sure. Enzo is definitely more abnormal. We did not know this, in fact. A lot of what I'm telling you in this video and a lot of what I tell you in a lot of videos is so that you don't make the mistakes that I made, that we made. We were very naive and we lucked out. Well, I wouldn't say we lucked out, but like Enzo is a very calm and chill German Shepherd. Prior to COVID and all this and some other stuff, you know, we were looking into getting him therapy trained because he is just so calm in that regards. Yeah, he has a little bit of the FOMO for me, but like generally speaking, he's calm. That is not actually normal for most German Shepherds. Lotus is closer to the norm. That being said, while I am learning some indicators, especially if you're looking at puppies, it's not always clear where they're gonna be on that spectrum, but you can pretty much assume it's gonna be closer to Lotus than it is to Enzo. So watch the videos, watch how Enzo behaves, watch how Lotus behaves, and note the differences. I mean, Lotus is a wild child. He's all crazy, reactive, shoot first, ask questions later type of pup. Enzo's more aloof and just kind of like, whatever, I don't really care about other people and things until you get within his confined bubble, and then he has an opinion, obviously. But it's a very different type of mentality, and you don't always know what you're gonna get. Now, this is true with any dog breed, mind you, but I don't want you to watch our videos and see Enzo and think he's normal. I want you to watch our videos and see Lotus and realize that he's closer to normal. And if you're okay with that, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great benefits to the way Lotus behaves. We call it reactiveness, but there's another name for it, and that's called sharpness. Very sharp, very acute awareness of his surroundings. I mean, Lotus, I suspect would thrive on a farm. If you had acres of property and you wanted a dog that was gonna let you know, like, hey, somebody crossed onto the property quarter of a mile down that way through the woods, he's the dog that's gonna let you know. Meanwhile, Enzo will let him get all the way up to the front door and start coming in the door before he goes, oh, hold on, time out, somebody's here, gotta let you know. They both have their strengths and weaknesses, but just keep in mind that Enzo is not the norm. Lotus is closer to the norm. They don't all have the reactiveness, obviously. Lotus is fear-based, if you didn't know that. Just keep that in mind. I want you to have like a proper expectation that all Shepherds are different. And yeah, there are some differences, male and female and so forth, but generally speaking, not like drastic differences necessarily. So just keep in mind that whether you're Team Enzo or Team Lotus, know that odds are you're gonna get something closer to Lotus than you are to Enzo. All right, it's about time for me to go get the pups. So real quick, the last and final thing, because frankly, it's something I don't really like to talk about anyways, and that is lifespan. 12 to 14 years maybe, you know, that's gonna vary depending on a lot of different things. I don't care how you shake it out, it's not enough. It's also a commitment, like I said, you know, and a decades long plus, in my case, I hope a couple decades long commitment. As I said earlier, surrendering is never an option. So you need to go into this knowing that they are going to affect every life decision you make for hopefully the next 15, 20 years. Career choices, where you move, where you live, how much money you have to spend on your own food, whatever that may be, you need to be prepared for that sort of stuff. Sorry, it's a little bit more windy out here than I thought. You know, stand here and help the wind. Be prepared for that. I hope it's something that you're not only prepared, but you're looking forward to. It's not long enough, but it's not a goldfish. So appreciate you guys as always. Subscribe for more German Shepherd content, and I'll see you on the next one. Later. What you doing there, Princess Cat? Riley, you don't even know what I got here. Got rid of them pups. You get a little drift there. Okay, I got a little sneak attack. Yeah, I know. She pretends like I'm not paying any attention to that.
She doesn't like that noise.
Probably because she used to Lotus barking up a storm.